to do, right? We are saying 88 divided by 2, right? So you go and do this, right? You put 8 divided by 2. So you ask yourself, how many times does 2 get into 8? It's what? It's 4. So like the first step is to what? Is to divide, right? So you now say 4 times 2. What is 4 times 2? The second step, you multiply, right? It's 8. The third step, you what? You subtract. 8 minus 8 is what? It's 0, right? And then you bring down 8. So writing 08 is the same as what? 8. So that's where you get confused, right? So you now say, what is, how many times does 2 gets into 8? Again, is what? It's 4 times. Are we together? And then you say 4 times 2. What is 4 times 2? 8, right? 8. And then 8 minus 8 is what? 0. So your answer is what? 44. Are we together? So I want you to try 66 divided by 2. Try 66 divided by 2. Right. Just check what I'm doing, what I've shown you, right? And you do exactly the way I have shown you, right? So the first step is to say what? How many times does 2 get into 6? 3. Write your 3. And then the next step is what? To multiply. 3 times. What is 3 times 2? Write it down. And yeah, underneath that 8. And then you subtract. No, is it 6 minus 6? Right, yeah, it's 0. That's it. And then you bring down. Yeah, put a line to show that you have been subtracting. Right. And then the next step is to say, no, you put a line here. You know, when you are subtracting, you put it on top, right? And then the next step is to what? To repeat now. You say, how many times does 2 gets into 6? This one. 2 into this 6 is 3. You write it on top. You say, right. So now, after that, it's 3 times 2, 6. You write it down there. Right. And then you subtract. Right. 6 minus 6, 0. So your answer is what? Is 33. Are you getting the trick now? Right. So another example that we can also do together, we can say, let's take 96. Right. We are saying 96 divided by what? By 2. Are we together? Right. So you go and say, right, 96 divided by what? By 2. So I said the first step number 1, is to what? Is to divide. Right. That is step number what? Number 1. You say 2 into what? Into 9. How many times does 2 get into 9? Exactly 4. You go and write your 4 on top of 9. You understand? That is the first what? Step. Are we together? And then the next step number 2, is to what? Is to multiply 4. This 4 on top, you multiply it with what? With 2. So you say 4 times 2 is what? 8. Underneath 9. You understand? And step number 3, right? You've multiplied. Step number 3 is to what? Is to subtract. Are we together? So you say 9 minus 8. And you put your what? Your line. 9 minus 8. What is 9 minus 8? 1. You write your 1. You understand? And then the next stage, step number 4, is to what? Bring down. So you bring down with the what? With the arrow. Are we together? And then you put what? 6. And then after you bring down, you what? So stage number 4, step number 4 is to what? Is to bring down. And then step number 5 or stage number 5 is now what? Is to repeat what you have been doing. Now we are saying 2 divided by what? 16. Are we together? Right. How many times does 2 get into 16? 8 times. We are saying 16 divided by 2, not 2 divided by 2, right? So it's 16 divided by 2 is 8. And then you say 8 times 2. What is 8 times 2? 16, right? And then you say 16 here, right? And then you subtract. So it's a repetition of these what? Steps. So I want you to be familiar with this one. So it's 0. So your answer is what? 48. So now I also want you to try 92 divided by what? By 2. And then we'll start examples of 3. You understand? We've started with examples of 2 because they are very easy. Because I know you are quite familiar with the timetable of 2. Right. So you can try that one. You can try that one.